So we have 401k, computer spending, membership. Okay. You can also see the benefit plan. So we have a lot of benefit plans. So we'll create a report that actually pulls employees who are enrolled for medical plans, who are enrolled for healthcare plans. All these plans will filter. I think the same report what we've created yesterday should work. I'll go with source all active and terminated. So generally, these kind of requirements you'll be getting for benefit stream. Okay, so benefit stream will be asking you to send all the employees data to vendors. Okay, so vendors requirement would be who have enrolled to their plans, who have enrolled to their particular plan should be needing the data to process benefits from their system. Okay, that is one thing you need to do. Another requirement is employee should be active and should have enrolled to specific benefit plan. Okay, that would be the requirement. So what would be the case that we can do in the report? Should not be terminated, should not be contingent, should not be inactive. Employee should be active. Okay, and should have enrolled to specific benefit plans to pull in the report. Any guess?
Active status.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you have to add it in the filter, like active status. Yes.
Okay.
And then the benefit, like in the list, and add the whatever benefits we want to filter.
Okay. Now, first our report should filter for active employees. Okay. So as I said, there is a Boolean value called active status. Which you can take and filter the data. And also there should be one more Boolean value is employee active. Okay. This works more efficiently than active status. Okay. So because this is actually looking for employee. Okay, if you see the condition, I think this should be delivered, I believe. Okay.
Amit, do you mean it filters only employees and not contingent workers and all?
Yes. Yep. So if you see the condition here, active and worker is employee. So it is not looking for contractors. It is not looking for any terminated or inactive employees. It looks for only employees. Okay. So this works more efficiently in your reporting. If it is not there, probably just note it. Other than active status is the delivered workday field, okay, which actually filters for active employees. But this also filters more efficiently than active status. It looks for employee record and identifies them and filters them. Okay, so I'll go with this one.
So the other one, the active status, it gives for contingent, all terminated, everybody.
Yeah, so it is nothing but the worker is active. Okay, so what it will look is it will go for all the records and it will identify active status, but this one will go for only employee. Okay, so your performance will be more efficient because it will not, this will not look for all the records, it will only look for employee. Okay, and pull that record, but the other one will go for worker record, and it will be drilling down into contractor, inactive, terminated, by going into all the status, and will be filtering worker status, which is
Okay,
active.
so you mean like worker means any employee, but sorry, worker means any
Any
in
category, it
any
may be
category, and employee is full time. who are
Employees
regular.
full. Yes. Worker will give contractor, terminated, inactive, on leave, and even the active employee. Okay.
Okay.
An employee is just an employee.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the major filter that we need to make is who are enrolled to specific benefit plans. Okay. So there is a delivered field called currently enrolled to benefits. Okay. That plays major role here.
I have a question.
Mhm.
When we select this and you say they're on leave, they don't come up, but should they not be part of this? If we want all active leave, could be just a week's leave, or is it, if you're saying leave, you mean long-term leave?
So there are two types of leave. Again, there's a big topic. There is a two type of leaves. One
Mm,
is if a short-term leave, if they wanted to have employee leave to be actually tracked under short-term leave,
mm.
so they'll not be marked as on leave. So
Inactive.
so
Okay.
they'll just go with the time off plan. There is a plan called time off plan. Let's say
Okay.
paternity leave. Employee, male employee wanted to go for paternity leave for
Yes.
15 days. Okay, so those kind of plans will be created under time off plan. Okay, but if any HR team decides if paternity leave, maternity leave, all this should be go under leave type. So just create them as a leave plan. Then we'll
Okay.
be creating that as a leave plan. So when employee goes to paternity leave under this leave plan called that maternity leave, what they'll be doing in the moment they actually submit the leave and manager approves, their
Mm,
profile will be showing that on leave. Okay, so that will go for
okay.
on leave. Okay, after 15 days when they are returning back again, we need to return them from leave. There will be a task for
Yeah.
benefits team that they need to return from them. So until unless they return them from leave, they are inactive employees.
Okay.
They are in the organization, but they are inactive employees.
Okay.
Okay.
This 15 days, what you told is categorized by the organization?
Yeah, that based on period, or policy, how many days that they wanted to give, whether it is 10 days, 5 days, 20 days, everything, is as per the policy, leave policy.
So these are all configured in this system when they first implemented like Workday for
Yes,
the.
everything will be configured as per the requirement.
Okay.
So there are multiple benefit plans here.
Mm.
Only I'll go for healthcare. Mostly every organization will have these benefit plans offered to employee. Blue Cross one. Okay. Medical plans will be offered to every employee in US. Blue Cross plan. If they wanted to track employees who are enrolled to this benefit plan, you can actually select these benefit plans, and employees who are enrolled to that particular plan will be filtered out. In case if there are other plans, you can just similar way you can check and get those plans. For now, I'll check all. Also, insurance.
How are you selecting all, Amit? What
Control
key?
A.
Control.
Oh, just control it. Okay.
Okay. Basically, all the benefit plans that I've chosen will be for US, but I know have other employees for other countries have come here. From my understanding, all the Blue Cross plans are for US employees only. But let me see if this employee, we'll see if this employee is enrolled for medical plans, what we filtered with. Employees for UK employee, that's what system is showing. Okay, might be any of this employee. So we'll, to understand clearly what plan is there, we'll just from this we'll know what is the exact plan that employee is enrolled, so that we'll know whether the country specific employee is eligible for that plan or not. Okay. Yeah, I think this employee has enrolled for these plans. That's the reason why they're coming up. Computer spending. Spending. Okay. This gym membership, commuter spending, pension, Sweden. Okay. Yeah. So all these plans are getting picked up in the report filter, which control A when we selected control A, right? All the plans have got selected, and that's the reason why this employee has got picked up. Clear? Any questions?
So basically, all of them got picked up because we selected all the benefit
All
or
the
medical plans.
all
Yeah.
all the plans other than medical, we've selected a few more plans, and that's where all the employees have got picked up.
And even the benefit plans that will be loaded onto, like by your HCM people, it would be only the plans the company offers, right? There won't be
Yes.
extras.
No.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
company opts for,
Yeah.
those only will be selected. Nothing else.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So these are frequent kind of requirements that you'll be getting from benefits team. If you're working for a customer who has benefits as their benefits module, they'll be reaching out to you for similar kind of reports for multiple plans. Okay. Now we have selected only few plans here, all plans here, but might be there should be a case where you'll be creating a report only for one plan. Okay, where employee would have enrolled, and that detail has to go to vendor who has to provide benefits from their system. All these things will be there, right? So in this case, you'll be selecting
So
only few plans.
when they give you a requirement that comes through, the column headings, would they tell you what they want included, or is there a standard format, or companies have their own formats?
You mean to say what all the columns has to populate in the
Yes.
report?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they may come with specific data, or if it is coming from external system, okay, not from internal business requirement, but if it is coming from external provider, benefits provider, okay, they'll be
Yes.
giving you complete document. Okay, these are the fields we wanted to have, and this is the plan that needs to get filtered, and everything they'll be giving you in a kind of
All right.
PDF document as a user guide, Based on that, you can actually go ahead and create data fields.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank
And now similarly, whatever we've filtered now, you can actually use not in the selection list to actually get huge amount of benefit plan. Let's say now um, they have all the benefit plan but not insurance plan. Okay, so what you'll do, instead of actually going for all the benefit plan, just not in the selection list and select insurance plan. It will not look for insurance, but all the plans it will look and returns the data. Such kind of thinking also you can make when you're actually creating reports for benefits.
And
But
that would be
more,
under normal filter, right? Not a sub filter because it's
not
one.
sub filter,
Yeah,
because all
because
the
it's one business, a
yes,
primary business. Yeah.
yes. So all the benefit related filters will be sitting in worker only. But yeah, again, it's your hands on. There is a business object called benefit elections, which is actually related to employee. Okay,
Yeah.
which is related employee. You can actually take that one, go for related business object and sub filter. You can play around in that way also. We have benefit elections. Even this one also you can do. This I added as a related business object now. Okay,
Yeah.
so you can take this to your sub filter and select all the benefit plans that you wanted to have.
On that. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, that's how you can actually play around with the benefit related. Now there is one more kind of sorting option that you can make here. The usage of these checkboxes. Okay, this is one thing, whenever you're actually playing around with calculations. Okay, any kind of arithmetic data, when employee salary populates, whenever employee you know uh, other than salary, any kind of bonus amount that is coming. If you wanted to actually do a kind of sum for all the salary related fields and get a grand total in the report, you can, instead of using any calculated field, this is one thing which you can select this, which actually aggregates all the
Totals.
dollar amount that you will be giving and get you the total amount at the end of the report. Okay, we'll just try to do that. Benefits fund, you're clear, right? So I am actually going in a simple way of creating report, but when you go for similar benefit reports, data wise, you'll be getting a chance to actually create calculated fields to get some data fields. So I'm not covering calculated fields, but when we get into calculated fields topic, once we are through with all the reporting formats and reportings, will be getting into calc fields. So I'll let you know how you can tweak the calculated fields by getting benefits related into for a worker column or filters. All these things are probably calculated fields will be required when you're actually making most of complex reporting. So I'll be covering the calculated fields when we get into calculated fields topic. But even when we are actually creating calc fields, we need to add to reports only. So we'll be creating multiple reports in calculated field concept as well. Okay, but whatever we have seen now is mostly used under required report. Okay, only thing that will change is the plans will get changed. Okay, the requirement and kind of filtering the data will be same, but probably the data fields might be, you might be adding few more data fields and might go with a few specific benefit plans. That is the only thing that you might be seeing change. But most of the cases, a benefit business will be asking you, or external vendor will be asking you to send the data for the employees who are enrolled to their benefit plans. Okay, so now the expectation that we have for another requirement is we need to have a report that should have any currency related value, okay, which generates an output with the sort field that I was saying, right? It should actually sum the currency value. Okay, and that is the thing. What we can do is so we'll keep as it is all the data. We'll add some compensation related fields. Okay, so when you wanted to use that currency related, here aggregate total, your sorry, the sort rate, your value should be display as grand total. Okay, I already checked that one. Okay, this is currency only, right? Okay, this is not currency.
Oh,
Okay, this is something calculated field. Okay.
single instance.
Okay. Now, so all this currency, whatever you're seeing here, will be calculated and gives the total amount at the end of report. Let's take Excel. So Excel would be right place to actually view that information. Okay. It's got invalid grand total. You'll be getting, and it is not.
Mm.
You'll be getting the value actually, but for some reason, the calculation is not happening. We'll see. Okay, might be. You can see, huge amount is there, right? So it is not
Mm.
able to give that particular value. Okay, so you can see, so everything is on billions. After summing up, so the grand total one, it is not able to give that value in this row actually. So that is the reason why you can see, even if I select all, not sure whether you will be able to get. Okay, so this amount, whatever you're seeing, right? I don't know whether it is billions or millions or trillions. So our grand total is not able to give this value because it is actually huge, right? To actually give, and the spreadsheet is not able to calculate this. but let's say we'll filter for only specific country and see if that gives.
More or less, how much time do they look for turnaround time for a report, plus minus?
When they give requirements,
Yeah, yeah,
generally, all benefit relation, what I was talking about, right? Will
yeah,
need to be a kind of uh, integration based, or if you're specifically working in an analytics team or reporting team,
yeah,
and if your report that you're creating are standalone reports. Nothing, basically when you create a report, those reports should be directed to dashboards, or those reports should be pointed to integrations. This kind
yeah,
of requirements will be there until unless you're not going for matrix report or any other report. If you're
mm,
going for only advanced report, the expectations of advanced are a little different, right? It has
yeah,
to be associated with third party application. It has to be associated to integration kind of requirements will be there. So until unless you don't have
mm,
any such of requirements, your timelines will be uh, very flexible. Okay, because you'll be creating for internal business user only. So for their reporting purpose, you'll be creating a report for them and you'll be sharing to them. uh, they'll not give any specific timelines, but
yeah,
if you are working as a consultant, as a contractor, then you
mm,
will get the stringent timelines. Okay.
okay,
Yeah, but if you're working for your own company as a customer, Workday customer, then I think you'll not have any kind of rigorous rugged timelines. It will be flexible because you're working for your own customer, and
yeah,
definitely they'll not give you a kind of deadline or a target. By this date I wanted to have this thing. They'll not. So once you're
okay,
done, you can proactively go ahead and let them know that the report is done, and you can view the report however you want, automatically running the report and sending them the file, or giving them access to the report and asking them to manage the report and run the report. Multiple ways, to actually let business know your report status. We'll be knowing all those scheduling reports and all will know. Okay.
okay.
Amit, one question.
Yep.
You're adding a grand total in the sort, right? What
Yes.
if there's more than one column with numeric value? It's going to give
Yes.
summation for both
Yes.
the columns.
Yes. For all the columns, any currency field that you take, just configure a sum. Take that as sum here, or however we have done here. Take that as sum and
Okay.
some configure grand total. It will give for all those columns.
Mhm. Okay.
Let me try for specific country so that we'll let's down some of the values and see if it comes. We'll go for Canada. Okay. Around 38 rows. I don't think I have a huge amount here. Okay. Still it is coming invalid here. Okay. And total. Let me check. Some have taken. Generally, it has to be selected as some. That's the reason why it is actually showing an error. If you guys have tenant, just try new tenant. It is something with the tenant or something. Just see if you're able to sort the grand total. Okay. There's nothing, that can be. Probably the Excel that, let's see. 613267. That shouldn't be the case to actually return this, right? We filtered on a few more. We'll do a small test by selecting, only few employees to see if it is giving, at least for limited rows. Okay, we'll run only for these 5 employees to see. Okay, I think this is not something calculation sheet is something with the tenant issue. It is not actually calculating itself. But generally, this should work for all the huge data as well, or something. The tenant has some issue with this. That's the reason it is actually not calculating. But just try the same option in your tenant if it is populating. If you guys have this, just test this one in your tenant and let me know if it is that if that is working for you.
Amit, my tenant says one or more extensions are not installed. What do I do?
One or more,
Extensions are not installed.
you're getting error message.
No, I'm just logging in for the first time. I got tenant access just today.
Okay, one or more.
Extensions are not installed.
Okay, so probably.
So there was an email, Ramifa, that comes with it, and there's 2 extensions that you have to install before you can use it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank
So
you.
if you do those, it's really quick. If you do those, then you'll be able to get in.
Okay. You're talking about the document attached with the email?
No document. I can't remember. I just clicked on it and it said install, and I said yes. There's 2 of them that you need to do. I can't remember because it's almost a week ago.
Okay, sure, no problem. I will check. Thank you.
Okay. So now this part, check in your tenant. Okay, if you're able to get the grand total for all the currency values, that should work. Okay. Just test that and let me know your test results. Now I'll actually go for prompts. Okay, now you got familiar with what filter do, what subfilter do, right? Getting into prompts. Okay, prompt is nothing but which actually filters down and give a kind of flexibility for for a user who is running the report to select the criteria what they wanted to have in the report output. Okay, it's similar to filter only, but it works in another way. You have an option to select during your runtime while you are running the report. Okay, now let's say your organization headcount is around 10,000. Okay, now you're creating a report. When you're testing, when you wanted to test the report to see whether it is returning accurate data or not, you'll not test for huge employees, right? So that you'll not be able to validate. The first, you'll be testing for limited employees to see whether all the data is populating or not in your sandbox tenant. Okay, now in that way, if you wanted to do that level of testing, I'll remove this one. In the selection list, here your type will change. Prompt user for the value. Okay, select this one. And now this works in 2 ways. When your advanced report is web service enabled, is not web service enabled, just filter will work. Okay, just giving that as a filter will work, and no need of going to prompt. Okay, when your report is not a web service enabled report, now click on OK. Your report should prompt you when you're running the report. Okay, it will prompt you to select the worker. I can select US that I wanted to run. Okay, there's no data for these employees.
Amit, can prompt be used for any field?
Any field, you can use it for any field. 2, 3, 3, 4. Okay. So your prompt can be any field. Okay, any field can be prompted according to your requirement. Only thing is, so probably location is actually creating an issue. That's the reason why the data is not coming up, because the filter what we have here is looking for only Canada employees, right? That's the reason why the other employees, whatever we have selected, are not coming up. I removed the Canada. If it is R operator, it should have worked. But if it is with AND operator, it was only looking for employee and Canada employee. Now it should work. 334, 335. Okay. Yeah. See, even for 2 employees also it is giving invalid. Probably this could be something a tenant level tenant issue. I'll figure it out, but check in your tenant if it is working, if it is giving the result or not. Okay. So that's how your prompt work. Now, since your report is not a web service enabled report, you're able to filter. You're able to prompt at filter level only. But let's say if your report is web service enabled report, and what reports are web service enabled reports? What report types are web service enabled reports? What is the meaning of web service? Urvashi, I think you were there in the.
Yeah, I think it was for when you're doing integration and that's when it happens. And wait 1 minute. Website.
So only advanced report are web service enabled reports. No other report can be marked as web service enabled report. Okay. And now if I check this checkbox and if you click on OK button, automatically I'll be getting, without click on error, you're getting an error because the rule is not satisfying here. When your report is web service enabled report, you also need to select the prompt, whatever you have given as a prompt. You also need to select that in prompt option. I'm clicking on OK, but still I'm not able to proceed because there are errors. Okay. So when your report is a web service enabled report, you have to give the value in prompt tab. Without giving in prompt tab for web service enabled report, you will be populated with error. And similarly, grand total checkbox has to be unchecked for web service enabled report. Okay. Now go to sort and check and prompts. Okay. Okay. So we need to remove the sum here. Okay, and now this should work for web service enabled report. That is the difference you need to know. For all the web service enabled report, make sure that you give prompt in a prompt tab. Okay. For non-web service enabled report, your filter prompt will work. That is the thing that you need to work. So when you add that same kind of behavior, you will see. And you can add worker, you can add contractor, you can add, country, you can add any other report fields that actually allows you to test your huge amount of data of reports. Okay. So that's a major, or probably what you can do is when you're actually creating a report for benefit plans, okay, and you'll give flexibility for benefit users, benefit business stakeholders when they're actually testing the reports, to give as a kind of benefit plan as a prompt. Okay, so that whatever benefit plan that they wanted to filter with, they'll just give it there and click on OK. get the data, that will be more flexible for them. Instead of giving huge amount of data and asking them to verify, I'll give a kind of prompt option to them. If you wanted to actually give a kind of constant value, that also you can be done. Okay, let me show you that. Instead of actually selecting from the list, just to make sure that that it has prompt.
Amit, what is this display prompt values in subtitle?
Okay, so if you have here, do not include in subtitle. Okay, so if you select this one, whatever worker you're seeing that, right? So whenever you are running the report, worker prompt is coming up to select the worker. Okay, so when you select, that won't be coming up. Okay, but that has to come for you. There is a reason why you have given prompt, right? There are, let's say, if you have, there are some certain type of reports where you'll be getting some default prompts when you create a report. Okay, I think for indexed all reports, I think the source will give all the built-in prompts. Okay, so if all those built-in prompts are necessary for you and you don't want them to populate as a prompt, you can actually select that do not populate that prompt in the title. Okay, so that you can do, and do not prompt at runtime also you can check. And if you want that prompt to be required, okay, until unless you select the value for that prompt, your report should not run kind of option that you have. Just select this one so that it will make that field as required, and you have to give that prompt, and then run the report. Now let's say I'm giving required here. Okay, first let me show, or let me run
Yeah,
this
but
and show.
what is the do not prompt at runtime means? Like when we give a prompt, when we enter a data, it's going to filter out at runtime, right?
Yes, it is going to filter out. Okay.
At runtime. But then what is this checkbox? What is the difference then? Do not prompt at runtime. Here, next to required. Next to required, do not
Here,
prompt at runtime.
okay, let me check this one. So now I've selected it as a required, and if I select this one, I'll be erroring out. Okay, because we are making that as a required, and we are again selecting as do not prompt at runtime. Okay, it should throw error. Okay, it should throw error actually, because this prompt filter is not making sense for the report to run. You are making the report field as a prompt as a required, and you are selecting this to not populate. But let me uncheck this required checkbox and make sure that I have now. So I have prompt as worker, right? The report will not ask me when I run the report. It will not ask me for prompt button, but without prompt it will run, and it will go for blank data. Okay, because prompt is given and you have not executed the prompt, you have made that prompt to not populate when you're running, and it has ran and it has given you the blank data. Okay, now again go back there and configure that back. Okay, now required, select this one, and when you select your required and this one, this will get disabled. Okay, now select this one. Okay, so now you see the required star mark has come here because you have marked your prompt as required. When you make your prompt as required, until unless you give the value here and when you click on OK, you'll be not able to proceed further. Okay. But if you don't give as a required there, you can click on OK and submit that. So getting the data and not getting the data is different. But when you give required, you have to give the value and click on OK. But when you don't give the value as required there in the prompt selections, this asterisk symbol, you'll not get. And when you click on OK, even if you don't give any data, your report will run with blank data. But here, in order to proceed further, you should give the value and proceed further. Okay, let's say.
Blank data means then it won't populate any data?
It won't populate any data. No, it won't look for any data because the reason why is you have not given any data here, right? You're making your report as a prompt, okay? And you're not selecting any prompt and you're clicking on OK, where report is not looking for any data and it returns blank data. But in this case, if you wanted to be more flexible, okay, if there is a prompt, I wanted to give the value, or if I don't want to give the value, but I wanted the data. If you have such kind of requirement, there is a different selection in the prompt. Okay. Filter where you made it as a prompt, right? Prompt the user for the value. Okay. So only if there is a value, your report will run. When there is no value, your report will return blank data. So that is the meaning of this prompt value. But if you feel that even if I don't give the value, I need to have a kind of flexible option, it should run for all the employees. If I give a prompt value, it should run for only that employee, kind of requirement that you have. So just remove that one, go for a different prompt option. All. Prompt the user for the value and ignore the filter condition if the value is blank. Okay. So even if you don't give any value in the prompt, your report should run. It should not look for that value, and your report should run for every employee. Now let's see if I'm selecting this one. You understood the difference here? When you're going for prompt user of value, you need to give the value.
It's a basic override, right? If you do that, the second one.
So
yeah.
if you're actually,
the filter.
yes, ignore the values, even if it is blank, just run for full stack kind of filter that you're saying. But if you're taking this option, it is looking for the value. If you're not giving the value, your report will not run because you have not given any.
So
if this is the case,
it's a basic prompt is like a filter. On the other hand, where you just want specific information.
Yes. Yeah. Now I've selected ignore if there is a blank. Now, even if I don't give any value, I think I've made it as required. I think here. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, now it will prompt me. Okay, I'll get the prompt. But even if I don't give the prompt, I'll get the result. Because we have selected a prompt to ignore if there is a blank value. But still, you have an option to filter. If you wanted to go with you can go and run for only this employee. Here you have given the value and it has returned. Okay, but here your prompt is a little flexible. Even if you won't give any value, it will look for all the employees and it will return. If you give the value, it will look for that particular record. But in the previous case, you have to give the value in any case, and it will look for that employee, that record, and it will return the data. If you won't give, it will return the blank data. Understood the difference?
What like this, and you want the prompt. It's more for the opposite. If you're running it for somebody that they can find information based on what they're just searching for.
Yeah, when there is huge amount of data for the business,
Yeah.
and if you are giving access to this report for business users, and if you are allowing them, okay, to select the benefit plan, or to select the country that they wanted to run, or to select the supervisory organization for which they have to return the data.
Yeah.
There are multiple cases, right? So they might be having a different kind of requirement. For only Canada I wanted to run a report, for only United States I wanted to run a report. In that case, give a prompt for country, okay. And
Yeah.
for only specific management levels, I wanted to run only for senior directors, only vice presidents, only leader, executive leadership team, or CEO of the company. I wanted to see the data only for these group of employees. Then go for organization. You will be prompting for supervisory organization. They can select whichever organization that they wanted to have, and that returns that specific data. So we have an option to give filter for supervisory organization, location, country, anything that you can select, and give them a kind of prompt access where they'll be selecting the specific country or organization or benefit plan, anything
Yeah.
which lays down the report performance time and returns the data. Okay. So now the activity for you. Okay. So create a report. Okay. Create a report with all the demographic information, employee demographic information. When I say demographic information, it should include all the employee related information: employee ID, employee name, cost center, hire date, manager, location, address, country. All these things, has to be part of demographic information. Create a employee demographic information, which should actually prompt for you when you're running a report with employee type. Okay. Employee type, when it is prompted, I should be able to select for contractors, or I should be able to select for workers. Worker in the sense employee. Okay. So I should be able to select contractor or employee. So I need to have an option to select run the report as a prompt for an employee or for a contractor. These are the two options that you can give as a prompt, and get kind of flexibility to run a report to any of these employee type and return the data.
Amit, before we end, I have a question.
Yep.
So can you please go back to prompt?
Mm-hmm.
And there was an option like value from another field.
Okay. Yeah, that will work. When you have certain cases, when there is no value prompt, right? Okay. Here I don't see. You'll be seeing a value from other, that will be in filter. Here, did you see?
Yeah, when you selected. Oh no,
From
yeah.
here,
Go to
yeah,
filter.
from filter, from filter, you'll be seeing that. Yeah. So here you'll have comparison type. Let's say if I'm giving value from another field. Okay. So there are a lot of examples here which I can give. So when I'm giving value specified in this filter, okay. So workers will be holding employee names, employee IDs, right? Okay. Those I can give here, employee ID, worker name I can give. Okay. But let's say, let me show what values will be existing in value from other field. Basically, whenever you create calculated field, you'll be getting this kind of options. Okay. So actually, if you see here, if you don't want to go with worker name and all, it's asking you kind of role of an employee. Okay, whether it is a benefit partner or someone from business unit hierarchy, you wanted to pick, you can pick this employee. Managers, managers group of employees, because worker is nothing but it includes multiple levels, right? So it is asking all worker managers. If you wanted to pull all the managers, okay, all the employee managers. If you wanted to return, you can give that one. And if you wanted to, when worker is a benefit partner, okay, when worker is a benefit partner, you wanted to run a report for benefit partner, you can give this one. And when worker is all workers managers in management chain, okay, so let's say there are multiple supervisor organizations, okay, for each supervisor organization there should be a manager, right? Okay, if you wanted to report on all those managers who are in management chain, okay, you can actually select this one. Worker has multiple options, right? Worker might be standalone individual employee or group of employees with multiple criterias. Here you can select any of the category that you wanted to have from another field, okay, from another field. Let's say if I wanted to all worker managers, so this will return for me all the workers managers whose management level is manager, okay.
Mhm.
So I'll remove the prompt because we are testing in different scenario here.
Okay, so in that case, we can't have a prompt here.
Because it is a group of employees, right? You can have a prompt, but you need to know what value you need to insert in that one. You can give the prompt. Sorry. You need to know what value all workers managers is there, right? You need to know if you give any employee in all workers manager, let's say I'm the manager now, okay, you are reporting to me. If I run the report with all workers as a manager as a prompt, if I'm the manager, if I give as a prompt, my data will become because I'm the manager. But you are a kind of individual contributor. If I give your name, report will not return because you're not categorized as manager. So there your report will throw an error. Okay, now I've selected worker as all worker manager and removed a prompt because that is multi-instance field. Where is that one? This has gone. Okay. Since it has got refreshed, it has gone. Value from other field. Okay. I can select immediate manager also, or managers. Basically, whatever you cannot select here, you'll be selecting here. There is only the case you'll be seeing. Now I'll be getting all the managers data. Okay. So all these are managers actually. If you go to Stephen Morgan profiles, when worker is a manager, you have given a filter to run a report. So that's the reason why you're getting. If you go to this employee job, you can see management level. And this employee has manager. The people are reporting to him, and that's the reason why yes, see here, people are reporting to him. When manager level 1 in the sense is nothing but immediate manager. Okay, when there are people reporting to him, you'll be getting that particular data you'll be getting. So you understand the filter criteria that I've taken here. Manager level 1.
So basically, if you give it as a prompt in the filter, then you have to define the prompt there. If you don't give it as a prompt.
No, prompt is not kind of a topic here, because the value that you have taken here from value from another field is a kind of concept here.
Okay, yeah.
So worker, you can give worker name like Amit, Ramafa, Uvashi kind of values that you can give in a comparison value. But now I have taken value from another field. Okay, value from another field in the sense you can select group of employees, rows, roles you can select. You're selecting manager level 1. Okay, what is manager level 1? Who is a kind of immediate manager to any employee. Okay, which is nothing but who should have reportees, right? Report people who are reporting to him, who is nothing but a manager, right? That's what you're seeing here. Okay. So when manager level 1 is there, run the report. Okay, that you're able to select from value from another field. So
Okay, you're taking a cross section, is it? Like you basically taking two fields, but they're rows, and bringing them together. Am I right?
Yeah, that's the reason why you're
One,
getting multiple employees, right? Who
yeah,
are managers, you're getting bunch of employees. This is nothing but a role. Okay. So if you are a manager, you'll be getting. If I'm a manager, I'll be in the output. If Ramava is a manager, she'll be in the output. So basically you're getting all the managers in the report.
yeah.
That's what you're able to select. Worker is nothing but anything, right? Worker might be manager, might be director, might be vice president, might be CEO of the company, anything, right? So that's what you're making that selection here. If it is value from the selection list, you're only selecting from worker name, whatever it is there, you'll be able to select. Value from another field means it is going little wide, open to all the worker types. Okay, worker categories, I can say. So CEO of the company, manager, director, anything that you can select.
Okay. Amit, will we be talking more about prompts tomorrow also?
Yeah, there are multiple ways of prompting. We'll also discuss more options about prompt, when it is required, when it is not required, kind of multiple ways of configuring prompts we'll be discussing.
Okay.
So we'll be getting a few more use cases related to prompt and we'll discuss.
Okay, sure.